Hello everyone, my name's Jack. I'm here in Nabaki Afrika, and today I'm going to show you how to do a basic roof installation using Decra tile. Firstly, we measure the length of the rafters. This is to check for square of the roof and also to show how many courses of tile will be used in the installation. Ready? Now I'm checking that the front of the rafters are cut flat, so that when we fit the fascia board, it sits nice and straight. When the string line is drawn across, you can ping it and then trim the face of the rafter so that it's straight. The first batten I fit is the ridge batten, and I take my measurement from the top of the front of the ridge batten down to the furthest point on the rafter, and I check that it's consistent on this batten and on the subsequent batten over here. Okay, so that's 89, so you can fix this now. Now we've fitted our ridge batten, we have a square point with the bottom of the roof, so that we know that these two lines will run parallel when the tiles are fitted. The positioning of your top batten is dependent on the size of the accessory that you use. In this case, we're using a D-ridge, which will just cap over the top once all the tiles are fitted. For a wider accessory, the batten can be fitted further down the installation. So now I'm going to take the measurement of our first batten installed on the roof at the bottom. So the first batten fitted at the bottom of the roof is the eaves tile batten. I want to leave an allowance for a 40mm overhang, but I also take into account 20mm for the fascia boarding, and then I mark up to 37, and this is the point our nail marker goes in. On each of our marks, I like to put a marker nail in. The line of the mark must sit on the top of the nail. Once our first marker nails have been put in at the bottom of our roof, using a string line, we can run between the 2 points across all the infilling rafters and then put another marker nail in place. The string must just touch the top of the nail each side. Too far forward, it will move the measurement. Too far backwards, it will be too far. Once I've installed the eaves batten, I can take a measurement from the top to the line on the roof, just to check that the measurement is consistent at all points. Now we've marked out the eaves batten and the ridge, we have a parallel point to work from. We can always take our measurements from these 2 points. I'm now going to demonstrate how to make a nail marking gauge. I've taken an offcut, a piece that you wouldn't use to install with, and I'm going to use the length of it to put notches in to take a nail on a roof. My first step is to mark the initial point at the bottom of the roof. So I'm going to go from here. The next step, I take a tape measure, hold this mark on, and then I'll mark the internal measurement of the tile. So 37, 74, and 111. So a triangular cut is made to create a notch. This is where the nail will sit. When marking your roof, it's very important to use the length of a measure. If you are to measure 37 and then 37 and 37 and so on, you can lose a millimetre or two each measurement. It's far better to go from one point and mark 37, 74, 111, 148. From my marker nails at the bottom of the roof, I've created a gauge out of an offcut of box barge cover, and it has grooves cut in at 37mm. The grooves sit on your initial nail and gives you a point in which to fix the next nail for the next batten, keeping your work nice and accurate. So from an offcut of box board cover, a nail gauge has been made. This is useful when pinning out a roof, as it provides a consistent measurement of 37 centimetres. On a larger roof, a larger gauge can be made. An important point to remember when you're putting in your marker nails is to keep the nails perpendicular to the rafter. By using an angle, we can adjust the nails so that they're sitting square. This is because when we offer up our batten onto the marker nails, the batten should sit square and tight into the rafter. If the nail is at an angle, then the batten will sit off the measurement and it will cause you problems with tile installation. It's very important to gauge the timber. Timber can be out 5 to 6 mil, and you want all the timber to sit at the same height when it's pushed down. In a lot of countries, the timber will never sit straight until you actually nail it and push it down. And you must always fit the timber to the right angle of the nails. Here we have a piece of timber with a bow in it, so it's sitting off our nail. All we do is put a nail in here, a nail in here, and pull this down and then nail it. As long as the front edge is straight, it doesn't matter about the shape of the back edge. Okay, so do you want to put these out? No nail, just put them on. And then we're going to put the fascia board on. We've laid out our battens on our deck, and this will show us the height that we need to fit the fascia board to. We offer up the fascia board to the end of the rafters. Come in here. And by using a straight edge bit of timber, we can see which height the fascia board has to come up to. This will act as our bottom fixing on our eaves tile. Okay? Yeah, fix. Yeah, we will. We fitted the fascia board to match the height of the projection of the roof and the other battens. So effectively, as we tile, we will use the fascia board as our last batten.